Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Shafa Ayu Candraningtyas and I'm a student from class 2E in English Education Department. And on this occasion, I will explain about the place of articulation and manners in consonants. So we will continue to find out. Okay, first is English consonants. So how do we describe consonants? Okay, consonant is a speech sound made by either completely or partially obstructing breath. This is done by creating contact between two articulators. Consonant is speech sounds that not a vowel. The sound of a consonant is produced by the partial or complete obstructions of the air stream by constrictions of the speech organs. Okay, this is the consonants creating contact between two articulators. So what is articulator itself? Articulator are vocal organs such as the tongue, lips, teeth, heart and sound palates, and these are what we use to create and manipulate speech sounds. Okay, next slide. There are 24 consonant sounds. Okay, first is sounds. For example, ham, hopping, jump. And the next is ball, table, and okay. So okay, here we are, the picture of the articulatory system. Okay, the first where the vocal consonants and vocal cords, and then the learning groups include epiglottis, vocal cords, and glottis. And then the tongue is here, uvula, soft and hard palates, or soft like we call it phylum. The nasal cavity and alveolar lips, teeth, and esophagus and trachea here. Okay, so we next to the place of articulation. So what is the place of articulation? Okay, place of articulation refers to the area in one of the resonating cavities, larynx and mouth. And the articulators, tongue, teeth, lips, or glottis make contact in the vocal tract to create consonant sounds. Okay, let's look at the process of consonant production to see where place of articulation fits in. So there are actually 6 processes of consonant production. First is air builds up in the lungs and then moves toward the trachea, larynx, and pharynx. And then third is the diaphragm and chest muscle control airflow. And the vocal cords in the larynx start a vibration cycle, which builds up air pressure and generates acoustic waves. And fifth, the airflow can go either through the oral cavity or the nasal cavity, depending on the sound. And finally, the air is modified by the articulator, lips, tongue, teeth, and palate. Okay, the next is the 8th place of articulation. Okay, there is first bilabial, or bilabial is contact between the lips. Okay, for example, sound is b, b, and Next is labiodental. Labiodental is contact between the lower lip and the upper lip. For example, and okay, next is dental. Dental contact between the tip of the tongue and the area just behind the upper lip. For example, the and the. Next is alveolar. Alveolar contact between the tongue and the alveolar ridge. This is the ridge area between the upper fifth and the hard plate. For example, the, and okay. After alveolar also has post-alveolar. Post-alveolar is contact between the tongue and the back of the alveolar ridge. Okay, for example, and E. Okay, next is palatal. Contact between the tongue and the hard palate or alveolar ridge. For example, yes, yes sound, like yes or yellow. And then velar. Velar contact between the tongue and the soft palate. For example, k and And next is glottis. Glottal is restrictions of the airflow at the glottis, for example, sound. And then next is manner of articulation. Okay, the manner of articulation is the way the articulators are set so that the resonance effect is possible. Okay, and manner of articulation is the how of making sounds. When we're learning about our first language, we don't usually think about how we make the sound we do. We just reproduce what we've heard over the first few years of our lives. We make the sounds without thinking how our mouth tongue or the teeth are doing, unless we need the additional support of speech therapy. And manner of articulation in second language learning is important because pronunciation doesn't come as naturally as when learning our first language. It's important to know how sounds are made so that you can pronounce sounds correctly and speak more clearly. And here there are 6 different manners of articulations. First is stop. Okay, stop is produced by blocking the air stream completely and then releasing it in a burst. The stop consonant sounds are t, b, t, k, and g. And fricative sounds are produced by partial obstructions of the air stream. The air stream coming out is turbulent, and this turbulence causes frictions. That's why they're called fricatives. The fricative consonant sounds are and etc. And a fricate starts with the symbol of a stop sound and ends with a fricative sound. In this case, the release of the air is done progressively, producing frictions, and the fricative consonant sounds are like this. And then the next is nasals. Nasals are sounds produced when the air is redirected up through the nasal cavity. The nasal consonants are and And the next is liquid sounds are made when the air stream passes through the mouth in a fluid manner. The liquid consonants are l and r. And next is approximants are sounds made without any kind of frictions or contact. And the approximant consonants are w and y. Okay, so that's all about place of articulation and manner in consonants. So that's all from me. Thank you for your listening. My orders I have shared is beneficial for all of you. Thank you so much. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.